Proverbs 17 and verse 1 says, "Better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than a house full of sacrifice with strife." Better is a dry morsel with quietness than a house full of sacrifice. That means it's loaded with food, but yet there is strife. It's time to come out from among them. I don't know who this is for. It's time to come out from among them. Time to come out from this relationship, my sister. Time to come out from this relationship, my brother. Time to come out from the circle. In general, whatever it is, it may seem like there's some benefits to being there, but there's strife. It may seem like there are benefits to being around these individuals, but it is bringing strife. And this word is saying, better is a dry morsel. This is how important it is to be in a place where you are at peace. Quietness is not only just physical quietness. We're talking about the peace of God. Than to be in a place that has everything with strife. There's a lot of people who are absolutely rich, but they have no quietness. They have a lot of sorrow. They have the riches and they have all these things that bring sorrows with it, because this is riches. These are the riches and the things that they have attained through their own strength, through the ways of the world, through a quick come up, through manipulation. They reach the top through cutthroat methods. And so now they suffer. They suffer because the blood of those that they stepped on and they had to override and they had to sabotage to get in those positions, the people that they stole their ideas and got rich off of someone else's ideas, there's a law and effect of what you sow, you reap. And so they don't have peace with that. There's a lot of people who they have beautiful things in their home, but they have sorrow. They're in this big house with all these things. It looks good in the garage, but you know what? They're house poor. They're eating ramen in that nice big house. They're going from credit card. They robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're using this credit card to pay these bills. And at the very least, they have to work their fingers to the bone. They have no peace. They have to pay for things. It causes strife and unrest within their hearts. Some of you want a relationship so badly that you're willing to go through anything for it. But the Lord is saying it's better to have a dry piece of bread with peace than all the trappings and all the frivolities that this relationship can bring you. Having that man, that woman on your arm, being able to say, I have a husband or I have a wife. Having someone that can reach up and grab that thing on the top shelf. Oh, a piece of dry, moldy bread in a quiet place is better than all the facade that it appears to be between you two. But there's strife. You can't imagine yourself just being alone with the peace of God, surrounded day and night by the angels of God. And I'm here to tell you, when people who take that step, when God calls you away and you take that step and you obey him, I'm here to tell you the Lord dispatches more angels. You have more ministering angels around you than ever when you are off in your wilderness or you're in this place where God has called you apart and set you aside for him. Because you are taking a step that is really not natural and it goes against everything that you may think is right. But yet you have peace. You know, it's not that you've gone and you're tormented. A lot of times you immediately have peace. but your heart still will look back. You have a lot moments. You want to look back and go, did I move too quickly? No, you did not move too quickly. Better a dry morsel in quietness therewith than a house full of sacrifice. But the thing about it is, when you're with the Lord in this quiet place, you are not going to be eating dry morsels. This is a figure of speech. It is really a visual for you to see how important it is that you have peace around you. Quietness, the peace that you can hear the voice of God, that you are not in strife. Strife causes stress. Strife causes you to become, you can't sleep. Strife is just, it tires the soul. And the Lord is calling you up out of this place. It's time to come out from among them. This may not be for everyone. But I'm here to tell you, God is saying it's time to come out from among them. You're praying and you're complaining and you're seeking God for certain things, but God is like, you're in the middle of strife. You're in a place, I'm giving you the answers, I've spoken to you, and you may go, yes, Lord, I know this is right. And you may have a resolve and a conviction within yourself to do the right thing. But once you get back in that environment, all those things, all those convictions and all those intentions that you had to do what God told you to do, it diminishes. It's taken. Because what? You're in a place where the word and the instructions of God is being choked out of you. You're surrounded by people who cares about the cares of the world. It hits the scorched ground, hits hot ground. It's being stolen from you as soon as you get a word, because strife comes to kill, to steal, to destroy. God is calling you up higher. He's calling you out of the valleys. And you may not even be on a valley, but you're on the mountain, but you're on a lower part. And God's saying, time to come up higher. Time to come up higher. Time to come up higher. God will give you the resources and the things that you need. He's going to be your cloud by day and your fire by night. He's going to protect you. He's going to lead you. You have to just trust him. He will give you a way of escape. He is going to give you an opportunity to step out and to do the things he's called you to do. There's so many people that's going to stand before the Lord with all types of excuses of why they didn't do. And why? Because they would have spent most of their life in the same rut, arguing with the same people, having the same arguments, having the same misunderstandings over and over again, staying in the place. You stayed on the porch. You never left the porch. You kept arguing with the people on the porch, arguing with the people inside the house, arguing with the individuals, going through these different things, when the Lord gives you a way of escape. When a way of escape comes, you're afraid and you're not moving. When a way of escape comes, here comes the honeymoon period, that now all of a sudden, whenever God is getting ready to move and God is telling you to move away, all of a sudden you will find these people that has always been toxic. You'll have these great moments with them all of a sudden. Suddenly there's a moment you just sat with them and y'all laughed and talked all night. And you're going, I don't know. Maybe I don't, look at how this is going on. No, that is a distraction. The enemy is aware of the Lord's getting ready to pull you. So now what happens is all of a sudden you have a wonderful time, maybe a relationship. All of a sudden, the person is being so sweet and so nice and so kind. And so what happens is you second guess the Lord and say, I can't leave now. Look at this. But you've already been through that cycle, haven't you? Of it changes, and now you're frustrated and you're kicking yourself and why didn't I just listen? Guys, you have to understand, look how quickly, I don't know about you guys, but the days are flying. It's Friday already. It was just Friday. It feels like just a few days ago it was Friday. The days are shortening. The Lord is coming back. The Lord is coming back. So do not find it strange that the Lord is pulling you away. And this is not just happening if you see some of the testimonies on YouTube, and when you're talking to your brothers and sisters in the Lord, every last one of us who are truly seeking God are going through this stage where God is just pulling us. And sometimes we'll be going through the same kind of trials and tribulations at the same time. Why? Because why is that? How is that? We're not all meeting at the same place. We're scattered, but yet we're experiencing the same thing. You're on one side of the world, the country, whatever, the ocean, and yet we're still being separated and going through different things. How? Because the Lord is gathering his elect. He's gathering his people. He's saying, come on in. Come on in. You know, you may be a wise virgin, you've got the oil in your lamp, but you're still hanging out in places where God is saying, listen, you got to come out of here. Are you going to miss the banquet? You've got to get out of here. Or you're going to find yourself seeing the Lord coming in the air, and you are still, you in another one of your arguments, haven't done the work. And I'm here to tell you, there's no situation that you are in, no situation that you're going through that is greater than what God can do. Glory to God. Better is a dry morsel in quietness. That means and peace. Than a house full of everything you can possibly need. The ideal relationship, the ideal friendship, the ideal job, the ideal ministry and the position, the ideal pay that you're getting within the ministry, but it's filled with strife and problems. And you know what? Sometimes you may not be seeing that. It may not be affecting you directly, but you're in a position in some ministries where you are seeing all the dirty work, and yet you're still there. You're not saying anything. You're thinking, well, that has nothing to do with me. The Lord's like, no, sir, no, ma'am. You are responsible because you've seen it. You've been a witness to it. You know, back in I want to say it might be in Numbers or Deuteronomy, it talks about if you walk by and you see your neighbor's cattle is falling into a hole, you are obligated to get that, pull it out the hole. You try to find your neighbor. If your neighbor is not home or you don't see him, you're obligated to keep that livestock and take care of it until your neighbor can come and get it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You're never privy to certain things by accident. The Lord expects you to do the right thing. Not sure who that was for. But guys, I'm going to end this word here. I pray whoever you are, that you will take heed to the Lord, that you will do the things that He has told you to do, that you'll put yourself in a place of preparation for Him to move, for Him to do His perfect will in your life. All right, guys.